You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back. That's exactly what a lot of people in the city of Detroit are saying. I'll cry if I want to, because they feel that they have a great injustice being done to them because they're not paying the water bill. And so the water department finally said, you know what, if you're not going to pay, we're going to shut off this service in providing it to you. So what have they done? They've gone to the United Nations, several groups, saying that this is unjust, and they want to try and put pressure from the UN onto the federal government and then back onto the state of Michigan to get this insidious idea or notion that you even need to pay your bill in order to get a service out of people's heads, and just getting this provided to people for free, I guess. But before we get back into that story, just want to say that I'm broadcasting, of course, as always, from the True North Painting Studios. The show is brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency, and Extreme Exteriors. You can count on Extreme Exteriors for expert installation of exterior siding, roofing, soffits, fascia, decks, windows, and more. With their knowledge and experience, they can design the perfect solution to make your home beautiful and energy efficient, saving you maintenance and money for years to come. Give them a call at 763-441-1334 and tell them Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Community Associations Institute. The CAI Minute is brought to you by New Concepts Rental Management. Whether you're an accidental landlord or a seasoned investor, New Concepts Rental Management can advise and guide you through every aspect of the business. Give us a call at 952-922-2500.
Are you a member of the Community Associations Institute? For nearly 40 years, CAI has provided education and resources to volunteer homeowners who govern community associations and the professionals who support them. Visit caionline.org to learn more. That address again is caionline.org. CAI helps community association board members by providing online resources, in-person training, and hard copy publications written by association management experts. CAI offers community managers professional development, networking opportunities, and a certification program that's established as the industry standard nationwide. Minnesota has its own chapter of the Community Associations Institute to bring resources and tools from community associations around the country right to your home. Visit CAIMN.com to learn more and become a member of CAI today. Your community and management company will benefit from your involvement. Join the Community Associations Institute today at CAIMN.com and click on Membership.
So we were talking about what the position of the Detroit Water and Sewer Department was, and they said, look, if you can't pay, we're going to shut off the service. And so they began doing it, and they found out that the habit of the people living there, for a majority, is people wouldn't pay because it was expected that everybody's in a hardship. And so they thought, oh, for sure, we're going to continue to have this service provided to us for free. But when they shut it off, that's when people came in the very next day to pay. And there's several groups that are saying this is just very unfair. Three groups were mentioned in this article. One calls themselves the Detroit People's Water Board. The second group is another one called the Food and Water Watch. And yet a third organization from Canada was calling themselves the Blue Planet Project. What they did is they sent a letter to the United Nations. The letter entitled Human Right to Safe Drinking Water and Sanitation. And in it, they were stating that the United States has an international obligation in terms of people's right to water. And what were they asking of the UN? They said, we want you to intervene by putting pressure on the federal government to step in and force the state of Michigan to do likewise by putting pressure on the city of Detroit to fix this, also, I guess, known as giving the water for free. And don't cut off the service because people have this as a right. And as I opened the show today, I gave what I thought was sort of a cute family story in my kids growing up. My son didn't like something that was happening, so he thought he would tattle by telling his mother. And we do that a lot, don't we? We always want to just tattle on someone else. It's cute when you're 3 years old, not so much in this situation when you're dealing with adults. But you know what? I see this happen all the time in homeowner associations as well. What'll happen is the board of directors will create a rule at the property, at the HOA. And that rule will be based upon a majority of the folks in the association who asked for something to be in place to address a specific problem. So the board goes ahead and passes the rule, whatever that is. What's the next step? Well, then they ask the management company to enforce the policy and the consequences. Now, all of a sudden, a single homeowner disagrees, and they don't like the answer that they're getting from the management company. So what do? They say, I'm going to go to your boss. And so that means there's next then them with a complaint to the board of directors as if management was acting on its own. No, they were under the direction of the board. Or vice versa. I see this happen. A homeowner doesn't like what a board member will tell them. And so then I get a call in my office at New Concepts where someone will say, you're the president of New Concepts, aren't you? And I say, yes. And they say, okay, I want you to talk to the board and tell them they can't do this. And I have to try and tell them, I'm not the boss of the board. They're actually the boss of me. As a management company, we work under the direction, and we have a fiduciary responsibility to be obedient to their direction because we are to manage the property according to their wishes, okay? But people do that all the time. They're always wanting, if they don't like what they're hearing, they say, I'm going to go to your boss. And so apparently, here's a group of people that said, you know what, let's go to who they perceive was the boss of all bosses, and that would be, well, it's not even the federal government. It would be the United Nations. And so we're going to do it, and either they honestly think the United Nations has that kind of power and leverage on every nation, or they were doing it in a manner that would just try to hopefully humiliate people and trying to get them to do what they were wishing here. Okay? But so this is what is happening, and there's these groups that are saying, please, UN, intervene here because it's unfair to expect that people should be able to pay for their own water. And so who are these groups? Well, they, in an interview, describe themselves as an Occupy style of organization. And we all remember the Occupy movement from about a couple years ago. You can tell a lot about the folks by the people they associate with, okay? And what is their message? Well, their message, they are saying, this is what you need to do, UN, but why? They say, what's going on in Detroit isn't just a matter of people not having money and not being able to pay their bill. They're actually saying that this is nothing more than a deliberate plot of exploitation of minorities and poor in order to push through a pro-corporate policy that favors the rich. I'm telling you, it really seems to be quite a stretch here, but they are quite adamant about their views. And so how is this a deliberate plot? Well, they say, well, we've looked at things and we've noticed 4 specific things taking place. What are those 4 things? Well, I'll tell you, but after this break. So don't go away. You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan on AM 1280 The Patriot. Back after this.